Well, the Harry Reid is actually the obstructionist in chief. I mean, he's blocking senators like Corker and me from having our say on behalf of Tennesseans about Iran, about Obamacare, about fixing the debt. And that's what we're elected to do. Our voices are important because we're supposed to represent the people of Tennessee. And so the reason why we have so much dissension in the Senate right now is because he's cutting off amendments and cutting off debate. And that makes serving in the Senate like being in the Grand Ole Opry and not being allowed to sing. Now last week, occasionally the Senate operates like it should. But there's no excuse for saying to United States senators, you can't have a vote on Iran sanctions. You can't have a vote on Obamacare. You can't have a vote on Keystone Pipeline just because the majority leader disagrees with it. I believe the four most important words for me in education are no national school. And I have legislation to reverse the trend of sending all the decisions to Washington. I want to send them back to Jackson, back to the state, and then focus on high standards, good tests, choices for parents. That's what we need more of. And I think Tennessee can do a good job of educating our children if Washington will just stay out of it. I think most of the dispute about Common Core has originated because of the perception and the fact that Washington can't keep its sticky fingers off state curriculum and state standards. I think there's very good reason to be skeptical of promises coming from Washington about Medicaid. The decision about whether to expand is wholly the decision of Governor Haslam and the legislature, and we have one governor at a time in Tennessee, and I'm not the governor. But when I was the governor, Medicaid was 8% of the state budget, and today it's 30% of the state budget, and it's soaking up the money that otherwise would go to keep tuition low at Jackson State, to build roads, to do a whole variety of things in Tennessee. Most of it would go to education. So I understand why the governor is cautious about believing Washington promises about the amount of money it will provide for Medicaid.